30 seconds before I moved to Pittsburgh, I learned one of my most important leadership lessons. That it's not really possible to love a place unless you're willing to love or let that place love you. When I arrived in New Sweden, Maine, I came expecting to do a job, which was to lead an organization, a church in this case, through change, helping it to love its community better. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with New Sweden, I brought a map of Maine along to show you. This is Portland. Bar Harbor is here. Canada is this fuzzy area up here, and New Sweden is right here at the hairline. You will also learn all you want to know about New Sweden if you type into your search bar 3 words: church, arsenic, poisoning. But that's okay, that wasn't our church, that was the Lutherans up the hill. I arrived at a church that knew it was in need of change, and I set about leading it. But what I was not prepared for was the emotional burden of leadership, and especially the emotional toll of loss. Those of you who have led change know that all change comes with loss. And my first loss was Al and his wife Vivian. I fought Al, I challenged Al, I prayed with Al, I tried to bring Al back in, but in the end, Al left. And he became the first line on what became a very tall wall, because everyone who left after him just formed new levels on top of that wall. And after almost 5 years of watching some great change occur and teaching the church how to love its place, I knew I was spent, and I was ready for a different set of problems, which Pittsburgh was going to provide for me. The day of moving came, and my wife and 4 of our children, because it was Maine, headed south ahead of me, and I had the task of making sure that I had our 2 cats, our adorable 3-year-old Marika, and a map of Pittsburgh in the moving truck, and I would follow her a few hours later. Once everything was packed and all the goodbyes were said, I went after our cats first, because I thought, well, they can sit in the truck longer while Marika was 3, trying to get her into the truck. I thought that would be the hard part. The first cat I went after was Tiger. He was a stray, weighed approximately 75 pounds, and he had adopted us to the point where he did not want to leave the house. And I found out how much he didn't want to leave the house when he tore up both of my arms trying to get him into the truck. He bolted out, back into the house. I chased him down through the house, told him how much I loved him, get in the truck. I carried him out to the truck. He tore up my arms again, ran back into the house. I decided to change my approach. I'm going to get Marika first, because Marika will be able to hold a cat while I get the other one in. So Marika gets into the truck, and I start the truck, and she's, once again, adorable, sitting in the middle of the cab. I'm sorry, I should have explained. She wasn't in the back of the truck. She was in the cab. And I went and got our younger cat, Spot, who's about 6 pounds, hates everybody because she's a cat. I carried her out to the truck, and I put her in, and I said, Marika, hold Spot, which she was excited to do. I went back into the house, and I grabbed Tiger. And since this is the last thing I had to get, I closed all the doors of the house and worked my way out. When I got to the truck and opened it up, what I didn't understand is that 3-year-olds are lousy at holding cats. And I got Tiger in, and out jumped Spot. But now there's nowhere for Spot to go. So she does that zigzaggy run across the church parking lot. And if you had passed that parking lot at that moment, you would have seen the now former pastor of the Baptist Church of New Sweden, Maine, screaming all sorts of religious words at a 6-pound cat who was just acting like a cat. And after chasing her around and all the rage of I just want to leave, I just want to be gone, I've given all I can to this place, why do I have to stay here 1 minute longer? She darts underneath the truck and up onto the rear axle. So I slide underneath the truck and I reach up and I say, it's okay, little girl, I got you. Daddy's going to got you, stupid rat. And I yanked her out and I slid out from under the truck and I opened the door and chucked her into the cab, sit down on the seat, foot on the brake, drop it into drive, and immediately in pulls a Subaru station wagon and blocks my way. What more does this place want? And you know who was driving that station wagon? Al. He gets out of the car. And I got to tell you, every bit of that wall was right on top of me in that moment. And I was so mad. And he gets out of his car and I get out of the truck. And I said, hi, Al. He says, hey, man, I just heard. Congratulations. Is this good for you? Is it good for your family? Yeah. Is it good for Jen? Yeah. Man, let me pray with you. And he takes my right hand and he puts his left hand on my shoulder and he wishes me well. And he says, good luck to you, man. I knew in that moment that I was no longer loving the place because I could no longer be loved by the place. And I promised I wasn't going to carry that with me to my next place. So with 2 cats, a cute little girl, and a needed dose of humility, I drifted onto West Midland Road and turned south. Thank you.